everyone. So today we will go for the last topic of this chapter number 3, that is classification and periodicity in properties. So our today's topic of discussion is electronegativity. Now what is meant by electronegativity? Actually it is the qualitative measure of the tendency of an atom in the bonded form, means in the compound form, to attract the electron towards itself. That is called electronegativity. For example, we have the compound like suppose H2O, water. We take the simple example. Now here the ability of an atom, suppose we take oxygen, to attract the electron of this bond. The bond is formed between hydrogen and oxygen. Clear? So the ability of an atom to attract the electrons of the bond towards itself is known as electronegativity. So I repeat, a qualitative measure of the ability of an atom to attract the electrons of the bond towards itself is known as electronegativity. Clear? Now here electronegativity cannot be determined. Clear? Like ionization enthalpy or electron gain enthalpy, as they are measured in kilojoule per mole. So their values can be determined, but the value of electronegativity cannot be determined. Clear? And that is why different scales came into existence in order to give the electronegativity of the element. So they are the numerical scales in order to measure electronegativity of the element. So these scales are Pauling scale, Mulliken-Jeff scale, Allred-Roschow scale. Clear? Out of this, Pauling scale is the most common, or it is most widely used. Clear? Now Linus Pauling, this scientist, he considered electronegativity of fluorine as 4. Arbitrarily, he gave the value of electronegativity for fluorine atom as 4. We know that fluorine is in the periodic table. See, fluorine in its group, it is the first element. And we know that in a group, atomic size increases. Means fluorine is the smallest element of its own group. Clear? Across the period, atomic size decreases. Clear? So here also, fluorine is the smallest element of its own period. Means in the second period, fluorine is the smallest element, and in the 17th group, fluorine is the smallest element. So we can say that in the periodic table, fluorine is considered as the most electronegative element. Clear? It has a stronger tendency to attract the electron towards itself. Got it? And that is why it is considered as the most electronegative element in the periodic table. And so scientist Pauling, he assigned electronegativity value 4 to fluorine. Clear? Here also now you can see I have written 4.0. Clear? Now you will be thinking that why to write 0? It is 4 only. If you write 4, then also it is 4, and if you write 4.0, then also it is 4. Clear? But here it is the importance of the significant figures. Clear? So this value is considered as more accurate. Got it? So this can be asked in filling the blanks, that what is or the electronegativity of fluorine according to Pauling's scale is dash. So it is 4.0. You will not write 4. It is 4.0. Clear? Okay. Now electronegativity is related to the atomic size. Smaller is the size of atom, more is the effective nuclear charge of the atom, and so more is the attraction of the electron towards the nucleus. Is it clear? So smaller is the size. Now across the period, size decreases. Clear? And down the group, size increases. So smaller is the size of element, more will be the electronegativity. Because if the atom is smaller in size, clear, then its effective nuclear charge is more, and that is why that nucleus can very strongly attract its own electrons as well as the electrons of the other atoms, means the electrons of the bond. Clear? So more smaller is the size of the element, more is the electronegativity. So electronegativity is known not only the ability of the atom to attract the electron of itself, it is the ability of the atom to attract the electron of the other atoms, means the atoms with which it is bonded. Is it clear? So that is the meaning of electronegativity. Now any atom in the center nucleus is there, and around the nucleus different orbits are there. Clear? Now in the last orbit the electron which is present is called valence electron. Now nucleus of the atom will attract the valence electron, but its attraction is not restricted only up to the last electron of its own, or it is not confined only the last electron present in the valence orbit. Clear? But beyond that orbit also there is the effect of nuclear force of attraction. Clear? So this force of attraction which is acting beyond the valence orbit is known as electronegativity. So if the atom is smaller in size, then obviously the nuclear force of attraction will be more outside the valence orbit also, beyond the valence orbit also. Clear? And so we can say that down the group electronegativity decreases. Why? Because down the group there is increase in the atomic number, but there is increase in the number of outermost orbit also, means there is increase in the size of the atom. Clear? So the electron is going away from the nucleus. Got it? And there is much distance between the nucleus of the atom and the last electron, that is the valence electron. Clear? So down the group as atomic size increases, electronegativity, means ability of the nucleus to attract the electron, decreases. Clear? But across the period, though there is increase in the atomic number, but the number of the outermost orbit remains same in a given period, means the distance between the nucleus and the outermost orbit, that is the valence orbit, remains same. Clear? Throughout the same period, in all the elements of the same period. And that is why there is a shrinking of orbital, because effective nuclear charge increases. Clear? And the distance is not increasing, so there is reduction in the size of atom, there is shrinking of orbital. So as atomic size decreases across the period, nuclear force of attraction increases, and that is why electronegativity increases. Clear? So there is decrease in the size, means increase in the electronegativity across the period. Now electronegativity is also related to the metallic or non-metallic character. Now we have seen that the elements in the periodic table are also classified as metals, metalloids and non-metals, and we have discussed also that on the left extreme of the periodic table there are metallic elements, and on the right extreme of the periodic table, excluding inert gases, are the non-metallic elements. It means that as across the period electronegativity increases, it means non-metallic character increases. So electronegativity is directly related to the non-metallic character. More is the electronegativity, more is the non-metallic character. So here you can see oxygen is having 2s2 2p4, means it is lacking only 2 electrons in order to complete its octet. Clear? So it is in need of only 2 electrons to complete its octet. Fluorine is in need of only 1 electron to complete its octet. Clear? So out of oxygen and fluorine, which element will have more attraction for the electron? It is obviously fluorine, because it is smaller in size compared to oxygen, as well as it is in a need of only 1 electron. So it has more attraction for the incoming electron. Clear? So compared to oxygen, fluorine is more non-metallic. Clear? So non-metallic character increases across the period. Why? Because electronegativity increases. Clear? Down the group, metallic character increases because electronegativity decreases. So electronegativity, clear? Electronegativity is inversely related to the metallic character. Electronegativity decreases means metallic character increases. Here across the period, electronegativity and non-metallic character are directly related. There is increase in the electronegativity means there is increase in the non-metallic character. Clear? So this you have to remember. And one more thing is electronegativity also depends on the other element which with the given element is combining. Clear? Suppose we take hydrogen and oxygen, water. Then compared to hydrogen, which is the first element of the periodic table, oxygen is more electronegative. Clear? So here the electronegativity of oxygen is more. But suppose we have this type of compound, OF2. Clear? Oxygen fluoride. So in this, fluorine is more electronegative than oxygen. So in both the compounds, electronegativity of oxygen is different. Why? Because it depends on the element with which it is combining. If it is combining with less electronegative element, then oxygen is more electronegative. But if oxygen is combining with more electronegative element, then the electronegativity of oxygen will be less. So we can say that electronegativity is not a fixed value. It depends on the element with which the given element is combining. It is forming a bond. Clear? So with this, the chapter means all the physical properties, periodicity in the physical properties we have discussed so far. After that, 2-3 small topics are given. So I will just give you, explain you in a brief. One is given about the anomalous behavior. Anomalous behavior means in every group, see these elements of the second period, in which S block as well as P block are included. Clear? First two are S block and the remaining 6 are P block elements. So S and P block element together in the second period, they are known as representative elements, because these elements will represent the properties of the other elements of their own group. Is it clear? Okay. Now anomalous behavior. Anomalous behavior means, see, for example, if we take lithium. Lithium, though it is a representative element of its own group, but it is something different. Its properties, its characteristics are something, in some way they are different from the other elements. Clear? Similarly, beryllium, its properties are different from the other elements of its own group. Clear? But lithium's property, they are similar to, they are diagonally related to the properties of magnesium. Clear? So lithium resembles magnesium in some of its chemical properties. Similarly, beryllium resembles aluminium in some of its properties. So lithium is different from the other elements of its own groups, but it resembles the magnesium, which is the element of the second group. Clear? Other group. So this type of relationship is known as diagonal relationship. So lithium has diagonal relationship with magnesium and beryllium has diagonal relationship with aluminium. We will not discuss this in much detail, because again in S block element we are going to discuss this topic, anomalous behavior and diagonal relationship, in very much detail. So at this juncture we will not discuss it in detail. Another thing is, as I told you, the elements of this second period, or every element, every first element of the group is different from the other elements of its own group. It is, the reason is, in this elements you can see the last orbit is a second orbit, and in second orbit there are 4 orbitals. Clear? 2s, 2px, 2py and 2pz. So total 4 orbitals. But if you see the next period, that is third period. For example, here these two elements of third period I have written. Their last orbit is a third orbit, and in third orbit total there are how many orbitals? 3p, 1s, so 4 and 5 d orbitals, so total 9 orbitals they have. So more is the number of valence orbitals, more will be the expansion. Clear? So here second period elements, they have 4 orbitals in their valence shell, so they can expand or they can share their electrons only up to the 4th orbital. But in third period the elements have 9 orbitals in their outermost shell, and that is why they can expand more, so they can form more number of bonds, and that is why also the first element of every group is slightly different from the other elements of its own group. So that also we will discuss later when we will go for S or P block elements in detail. These chapters are there in our syllabus, so that time we will discuss them in detail. One more thing. Now periodicity in chemical properties. So in chemical properties we have to discuss only one thing, and that is oxidation state. Now what is oxidation state or oxidation number? See, the number of the group is equal to the valence. So here valence and oxidation state both are similar to each other. Clear? So valence is nowadays given the name oxidation state. Clear? So the oxidation state of the element depends on the other element with which it is combining. For example, if we take water, so in water hydrogen is +1 because hydrogen is electropositive element. It has tendency to lose electron. Clear? So when hydrogen forms bond with oxygen, then it will go for sharing of electron. So hydrogen will acquire +1 charge and oxygen will acquire -2 charge. There are 2 hydrogen atoms, so total +2 charge, so oxygen will have -2 charge. But when oxygen combines with fluorine, then fluorine is more electronegative, so here fluorine will accept the electrons. Clear? And that is why it will have -1 charge. There are 2 fluorine atoms, so total -2 charge, so oxygen will acquire +2 charge. So oxygen in one compound is having negative valency or negative oxidation state, but in the other element it is having positive oxidation state. So here again the valency or the oxidation state of the element in a given compound depends on with which other element it is forming a bond. Clear? So that topic is, though it is important, but for descriptive type of question that topic is not that much important. So we will end our chapter with only the detailed explanation of periodicity in physical properties of the elements. Clear? Now from next time we will go for the next chapter, that is chemical bonding and molecular structure, and where required we will discuss these topics. Wherever it comes we will discuss this topic. Clear? So this is all for today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.